a duty to uphold. What an indictment, not just on the Prime Minister, but on his country. But let me break it down because I know who will put it in the Jamaican language. What the report has concluded is that the Prime Minister no fit and proper to hold a position there. When an independent statutory body investigates a Prime Minister for illicit enrichment, when he cannot show the source of the funds, where him get him assets from, that is not politics. That is a national scandal. When report after report from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission details how multi-million-dollar government contracts were steered to friends and cronies, when companies that were barely in existence suddenly get contracts worth hundreds of millions of dollars, when the same names keep popping up in multiple investigations, that is not coincidence. That is systemic corruption. Comrade Steve, when the outgoing MP, which you are sending into permanent oblivion for Central Kingston, admits by his own word that he is shielding the ultimate beneficial owner of medical technologies, which is getting hundreds of millions of government contracts, in violation of the same amendment to the Companies Act that he had passed, which made that illegal. What are we to conclude? Who is person A that is being protected? The public is entitled to wonder, Comrade Dawes, if person A and Craven A is the same person. Comrades, we must ask ourselves, how is it that in Jamaica, the small man struggles to put food on the table every day, but the friends and cronies of the JLP keep getting richer and fatter? How is it that teachers cannot get proper resources for their classrooms? Hospitals don't have basic medication and supplies, yet a few privileged, connected persons connected to the JLP keep getting contract after contract, payment after payment, food upon food. What can go so? And let me be clear, if any other public servant, any teacher, any police officer, any civil servant tried those things, they would be brought before the courts. Like the poor man who stole a few pods of ackee from the king's house ackee tree. So why should there be a different law for them and another law for the JLP leadership? But comrades, Julian Robertson explained that corruption is not just an ethical problem, it is a development problem. Every dollar that ends up in the pocket of a corrupt official is a dollar that could have gone to fix a school, purchase medication for a clinic. Every overpriced contract that goes to a crony means a legitimate businessman who employ people and pay taxes does not get that contract. Corruption contributes to net FDI falling to 25% of what it was when the PNP was last in office. Corruption contributes to food imports doubling under the GLP in the last 10 years. And instead of that additional 800 million US going into the pockets of Jamaican farmers, it is going into the pockets of their friends and cronies. We see the results in our everyday communities. Bad roads, broken water systems, hopeless young people. The government would like to convince you that you are prospering, but you know that they and their friends are the only ones that are prospering. But comrades, Jamaica deserves better. Let me remind you that the People's National Party has always stood on the side of integrity and accountability. I believe, Comrade KD, it was the Michael Manley administration of the 70s that introduced the first Integrity Commission for parliamentarians. And that politicians should declare their assets. The PNP believes that public service is a sacred responsibility. It is a sacred responsibility. We don't believe in the business of politics. And that is why when we form the next government under Mark Jefferson Golding, we will move decisively to restore integrity to public life. Because ultimately what we want is a Jamaica where public trust is restored. A Jamaica where our young people can believe that success comes from hard work, not links and party connections. Comrades, we saw and we have heard, and I can speak to Manchester, where the Labourites are running a campaign of scarce benefits and spoils. Literally, they want to keep Jamaicans so poor that they're in a life and death struggle. Literally life and death. We heard about the unfortunate incident of a JLP supporter being stabbed to death at the constituency office in Northeast Manchester. But when you have a campaign based on the distribution of scarce benefits and spoils, you get these things. But comrades, time come. Time come. Time come for a government that puts people first. Time come for a Prime Minister whose statutory declarations can be certified. Time come for a government that is concerned with making life better for the people of Jamaica. And time come for a Prime Minister with clean hands and a pure heart. Andrew Holness, one golden put you up there, and this golden will take you down. One love, one heart.
In Manchester, we're seeing where the PNP's current cross is putting up GLP banners. And you know, current cross is a comrade. And she's seen here putting up GLP banners in Manchester.
And they need to tell us what they mean it for, don't it? They need to tell us what they mean to it for.
Exactly. It's a better Jamaica wants in a better community. Better country.
I'm not one right to worry. I'm going to call it. Ready? And to a call.
Them tell her to call it. Them never call it because they're tired.
I'm tired, man.
Them are tour the country for 4
And
years.
it costs them too much money.
And I call them because them think them can't win.
Cost them too much money.
Tired.
It costs money to man.
That's how it
Every PNP I eat it.
No, not every PNP.
Every PNP I eat it.
No.
So then you need to
No.
Not
every PNP. I am telling you, you have idiot PNP. You have idiot PNP. You have idiot.
It would be a bit challenging. I'm just going to be
Well,
honest.
Lisa Anna.
Because Lisa now.
Lisa.
So me have to give my caps out for Lisa Anna.
Because Lisa can come on them. Lisa can come on them. Lisa can the Lisa alone. Lisa can come on just a pose.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yes,
Rhoda deserves to win that. I'm sure. Michelle, I just want to win.
Me not have the time
Well,
for
we
that.
have to more.
Me not have the time for that.
Yeah. Decent people who are PMP and decent people who are JP. What we don't like is the risers, them, and that led by Mark Olin and Peter Bunting.
Yeah,
Them
man.
and evil.
I'm Peter Bones and I'm going to criminal blood like people.
Evil.
No, too evil. They make a wrong decision.
Aren't you like that?
You heard it from Karen Cross herself saying that they're decent PNP, but they just don't like the Rise United faction within the party. Alright, I'm Dudley Thompson, and again, please like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, thanks for watching.